Now, just like some of the other churches, we believe that blasphemous ideas that cause dissent to our cause should be removed.
Remove problematic language from your vocabulary.
We're actually doing a book burning later. I mean, we have Harry Potter, Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, which is basically our Salvador Rushdie's The Satanic Verses. Just sacrilege. A goal of mine would be to get a little closer to Islam's influence. I mean, when they tell you not to make a cartoon, people listen.
Dismantle the patriarchy. Never let opposing viewpoints stifle your faith.
While religious mothers of the past have had their sights set on deplatforming Howard Stern, we're more focused on the new generation's Howard Stern.
Hello!
We've sort of designed it to be a bit of an echo chamber. I mean, if our viewpoint can take us to the promised land, should we not try anything in our power to get there? This is one of our many Bibles.
Hey, it's funny because it's true, and as Ryan Long said, the unification of state and woke is here, and it's not going away anytime soon. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Zugradowski of WeAreChange.org. A lot of very important news to get into today, specifically the big gaffe made by Twitter, and the CDC once again flip-flopping on one of their major policies, and literally doubling down on it. Yeah, lots of lies, disinformation, and propaganda to cover there. And before we do that, the intro clip that we played at the beginning of this broadcast is by, of course, Ryan Long. It is only a short clip of his full video, which is linked down in the description below. It is definitely worth a watch. And let's be honest here, a lot of the things he's joking about is becoming reality, as even just moments ago we found out that Aunt Jemima's maple syrup now is Pearl Milling's company original syrup. It doesn't really have the same ring and tone to it, does it? As of course, another African-American icon has been sacrificed to the woke mob and corporate globalist state that of course works together, pushing the divide and conquer narrative, like insane talking points that, quote, Tom Brady is racist for winning the Super Bowl during Black History Month, which is actually being puppeteered by what looks like a lot of people unironically. Yes, that's the type of insanity unfolding right now in our public discourse, which is absolutely, utterly insane. But yeah, we're living in a very strange time where a lot of satire is literally becoming reality. Be careful calling it out, because you might be censored, deleted, and even unpersoned by the big tech platforms that push a lot of these narratives, which are essentially narratives of the state and the establishment that benefit off of people fighting each other, and at the end of the day, always make sure that the government gets their way. This is why a lot of censorship has been against people calling out this woke church of nonsense, and also at the same time calling out a lot of the ridiculousness when it comes to the government and their outright utter hypocrisy that affects us negatively. All of this is, of course, the mainstream media cheers on and puppets elaborative, confusing PR talking points, trying to confuse you that somehow unaccountable tech billionaires are the best people that should be in charge of all speech in the United States. So yeah, not a good thing. The only few people calling them out are individuals like Glenn Greenwald and Tucker Carlson. Politically, individuals from the left and the right coming together on very important principles and virtues of free speech, which should be held widely by everyone, which they're not. They're just selectively enforced when it works in favor of the establishment, when it works in favor of the agenda, when it works in the benefit of the few billionaire oligarchs. Yes, we're going to have free speech, but when free speech threatens them or makes them lose money or power, it needs to be stomped out immediately, which of course it is, as perfectly exemplified by Twitter, that just promoted the idea of free expression and publicly announced that it will not be taking any action to stop the spread of, quote, misinformation in India. Meanwhile, they took an active role in doing that themselves personally for what they liked to hear and didn't like to hear here in the United States. Again, highlighting how they are utter hypocrites that don't even care for being called out for their two-faced, duplicitous, nonsensical policies that, of course, only serve the interests of the very powerful and screw everyone else over. Just like religion tried to block the printing press, the woke religion is trying to stop the internet and the free expression of ideas amongst the common folk, because it is dangerous to their small monopoly control on our lives, and they know this, and they're getting desperate, in my own personal opinion, and that's why we're seeing things escalate as they have been. As of course Twitter gloats about how it literally terminated the account of the US president from being able to talk to its citizens. As of course in India, it is declaring that it has a principle of defending protected speech and freedom of expression, as of course it was just served with a non-compliance notice by the Indian government. Now, some accounts have been suspended on Twitter, but according to the Indian government, not enough. And what did Twitter think was going to happen here when they blatantly ban political speech in the United States? Didn't they think that other countries would also want this universal, unilateral, unaccountable power to do the same in their country? And now they're fighting back saying, no, 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 no. Only we, the tech oligarchs, and not the Indian government, could decide what political opinions are okay and which ones are not, which shows you to which dangerous point we have finally reached in our society, where the tech oligarchs essentially hold all the power. This is all, of course, done all in the name of wokeness, puppeteered and cheered on by useless, low-intelligence, non-thinking lemmings that literally puppeteer everything that they hear either on the mainstream media or their carefully curated social media algorithm timeline. But hey, just like religion failed to stop the printing press, I do believe this woke church and its unison with the corporate government oligarchs will fail as well. And that's why we're seeing promising signs like even Telegram rocketing in downloads and people using it to the point where it has become the #1 downloaded app in the world. There's also Signal that is jumping up in the ranks as being the 3rd most overall downloaded app, which is huge news and shows a resurgence of individuals who care about their privacy and freedom, essentially their liberty, and that's a promising sign. We even have our own Telegram chat room, and if you're interested in that, look in the description below and check out the conversations and the very interesting memes that we post by joining us in the conversation on Telegram. Yes, I heard some skeptical things about Telegram, but for right now, our small Telegram group with 7,000 people actually reaches more people per post than our Facebook page, which has nearly 600,000 followers. Yes, a page with 600,000 followers reaches less people per post, per week, per month than our small Telegram group with 7,000 people. So yeah, I think it's time you guys definitely check us out on Telegram, since of course the game is rigged. By the way, I also suggest you guys should check out wearechange.org/donate, where you could check us out and actually support us at the same time without any money by going and checking us out through Steemit, Hive, and also using a privacy-focused search engine like Presearch through our affiliate link, which also at the same time supports us without you having to spend a single dime. The game is rigged against us, especially with all the big tech manipulation that we've been going through for the past 15 years, and we know times are hard, so check out these ways to support us without spending a single dime. They mean a lot to us, and I think they could also help you at the same time. Now, the larger point that I really wanted to kind of make here moving forward is that if you have some wacky, untrue, crazy, wild ideas, you usually need to censor anyone criticizing it for some gullible people to believe it. In my own personal opinion, case in point, we have the latest video from the CDC that just released a montage of famous Hollywood blockbuster, probably connected to the CIA, movies where all of the main characters are wearing masks with their new tagline that it is heroic to wear masks. This, of course, coming from the same governmental organization that told you during the beginning of this almost 1 year ago not to wear masks at all. Now they're not only flip-flopping on their lie, they are literally doubling down on it, as of course they also released a statement right now that, quote, it is advisable to wear 2 masks, not just one. This, of course, as Dr. Fauci also said, people shouldn't wear masks almost a year ago. Then he said that they should. Then he said they shouldn't wear 2. Then he said they should wear 2. Again, flip-flopping once again, showing how we have no utter consistency. No one really knows what's going on in the government, since, of course, they keep flip-flopping on major policies that have major effects on human beings' lives. That is the epitome of government. And the fact that people who question this are labeled dangerous is, in fact, dangerous itself, as the government could lie to you as many times as they want to, as clearly they did with masks, But if you lie to the lying government in the United Kingdom, you could go to jail for 10 years. Yes, this is the new Orwellian Big Brother police state initiative launched in the United Kingdom, where they are threatening people with a 10-year prison sentence if they lie about where they've been and where they traveled during, of course, this sickness. This, of course, is tougher than even gun laws in the United Kingdom and even child abuse laws. The United Kingdom also created a, quote, red list of 33 countries, and now British and Irish citizens that are permitted to travel must pay $2,400 for a, quote, quarantine package that will include a 10-day hotel stay and, of course, repeated tests. Yes, the government is making this mandatory for people wanting to travel. If you fail to quarantine in your hotel, which you're forced to pay for, which you're forced to stay in, you're going to face a fine of $13,800. Again, punishing poor people, penalizing them will not fix the current situation, especially from duplicitous governments that keep lying to the American citizens about what actually is happening. These laws are beyond draconian and should worry everyone, especially with how political this sickness has become and how many people are benefiting from it, especially in the billionaire class, while so many more are suffering. But in the United States, as I've been covering for a while now, the cases right after Biden's inauguration have been going down. They are continuing to go down, and they show some promises when we're still dealing with the situation that even one of the world's oldest people, yes, a 117-year-old nun from France, survived the conholio sickness, saying that she, quote, didn't even know she had it. Now, of course, this is an individual reaction. Each person's reaction will be totally different based on their health, based on their vitamin D levels, based on what doctors they see and what medicine is politicized and can be talked about and can't be talked about. I covered this on my Patreon, by the way, with Chris Martinson, if you want to see more context related to that, because we can't mention it here. But when we're living in a place where literally police will assault you and arrest you for going to the gym, but allowing you to have a Big Mac, you have to understand that this is not about your health and well-being. This is, in my opinion, essentially something bigger, something greater that we should be made aware of. As we're speaking right now, people are getting a rare blood disorder after getting the conholio sickness jab. This is according to Newsweek, that is reporting that people who have received the conholio sickness jab in the United States are showing a link to this blood disorder, which some scientists are finding very troubling. Again, a lot more studies, a lot more research needs to be done here. Nothing is conclusive, which it shouldn't be, since, of course, we have a rushed experimental jab that has never been done before. A jab, of course, that is greatly benefiting the pharma industrial complex that absolutely has no liability if they totally mess up. Pfizer specifically just stopped India from being allowed to test its efficacy and safety of the jab. Meanwhile, the CEO of Johnson & Johnson just applied for an emergency authorization, which he most likely will get from the FDA, to greenlight its own conholio sickness jab. The same CEO who's now saying that you will have to get a conholio sickness jab every year. Yes, the Johnson & Johnson CEO, the same company that paid around $100 million after their baby powder was found to be contaminated with asbestos-contaminated talc, is now telling Americans they will soon need to be jabbed every season for the next several years for the conholio sickness, which he says is mutating. Which, of course, would be very lucrative for him and his profits and his shareholders and his corporations that face no liability no matter what they do. So yeah, these are my important opinions that I think should be important to get out to the general public. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. It is more imperative than ever. There's a lot of forces and things happening behind the scenes to make sure less and less people see these types of videos. And if you are, you're very lucky. And I'm very lucky to have your time and your moment and to be able to share it with you. And if you think I'm incorrect or was wrong in any way, shape, or form, let me know why in the comment section below. I always appreciate very much the constructive criticism, which, of course, is key towards becoming better and being able to serve you guys as best as I can. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and this is why. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. Check out our Telegram group for some spicy memes.